For me, even though I'm not Cornish, the high point of any journey to the West Country is crossing the Royal Albert Bridge. And here we have it, in Replica. I've always had a passion for Brunel. I've always had a passion for this bridge in particular. And to me, this is a magic moment. You know, here we have it. Where did it come from?
I believe it came from a gentleman who was an apprentice in the dockyard back in the 1850s.
Right.
I was always led to believe.
So it's a family piece?
So it's been handed down through the family.
And you've always had it in your house or in your family house?
In my time.
Yes, in your time.
Yes.
Now, this bridge was completed or opened in 1859. It was Brunel's last great design. And when he was dying, and the bridge was just opened in time, he was transported across, lying on a flat railway truck, and he died very soon after. It was a revolutionary bridge for all sorts of reasons. Emotionally, it was the first physical link between Cornwall and England, if you like, that made it possible to travel all the way to Cornwall by train. And so this bridge really represented the boundary with Cornwall. Once you'd crossed the Tamar, you were there. It's a wonderful structure because it's so high. You climb up above the houses and then down through Saltash to get across the river. And this was all because the Admiralty said the bridge had to be far above the mast height at high tide of any ship that went under it. He had to invent a new technology to do it. This tubed construction using iron had never been tried before. And with all his works, everybody said, it'll never work, it'll fall down, it'll collapse, the trains will fall into the river. And of course, he was right. To me, he was a fantastic hero. A great builder of ships, the Great Britain, the Great Eastern, designer of mobile hospitals for the Crimean War, but above all, the engineer of the Great Western Railway. And this was one of the supreme achievements, I think, of a wonderful man. But of course, the question is, what do we do with this? It's got all these numbers, up to 52 weeks of the year. What do you hang in all these slots? Do you know?
Well, I always thought it was pipes.
What sort of pipe?
Clay pipes.
So long churchwardens clay pipes?
Yes.
Would fit there, but do you smoke a different pipe? Not you. Does one smoke a different pipe every week of the year?
Well, I assume that clay pipes broke very quickly when they were smoked, or they burnt through.
They burnt through.
Perhaps they need more of them.
But would you hang the whole year's supply out? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Is it a scoring system for a game? 52 cards? You know, there's all sorts of possibilities. Yeah. I think it remains a mystery, but that to me is not the important thing. That's a curiosity which we probably won't solve. But it's just such an exciting thing to see because the bridge is here. You know, nothing could be better in Plymouth than to have, for me, than to have this bridge. It is a remarkable thing, beautifully made and a highly desirable object. What do you do with it?
It hangs on the wall in the house and it will pass through my family, hopefully.
Quite right.
It was my mother's wish that it never left the West Country.
And so it shouldn't.
And if, you know, any of us chose not to keep it, then it was to be given to Cornwall as a gift. I think
it's absolutely right. It should stay here. It's part of the history, because
yes.
I'm sure it's contemporary with the opening of the bridge.
Yes.
And therefore, I would see, in the right sort of environment, £3,000 asked for it.
Just that. Ooh.
I think so.